Hi, CMattDye here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the video. I appreciate your time. And today I want to talk about the crypto market. It is Technical Tuesday, and let's get into what's going on. So, first of all, um, I want to start out with the total market cap of the crypto market. So, in looking at this move off of these lows, it looks basically just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I'm looking at this and I'm looking for possible support down here, but it's going to push into a resistance level. And then that is going to have the market go back down and probably have some move into this region. So, probably in the next few months, end of the year, we can see a seven, maybe a 650, 600 billion crypto market cap, something like that. And of course, I did talk about this 400, around the 400 market cap, 400 billion market cap. If crypto goes below that, there's a bigger problem. I don't think that's what's going to happen. This move looks definitely a corrective structure, which means even though this is corrective, it should get one more corrective move up and then see that move lower. So now I want to go into Bitcoin because Bitcoin kind of is the king of crypto. It doesn't matter what, maybe you're a Cardano maxi or an ETH maxi or something like that, which is kind of ridiculous. The market is the market. People don't trade their stock markets and they're like, oh, well, I'm only going to trade Apple because that's that's what I'm into. I'm not going to trade Tesla or any new small cap companies that can make a fortune just because I'm into this one. And crypto's the same way. If you're only going to trade Bitcoin and not Ethereum or Solana or you know ApeCoin, why? You got to go where the opportunity's at. And I do love trading Bitcoin, but you got to kind of look at everything. So let's look at Bitcoin here if the chart will work as I want it to. So yeah, there's a lot of mess over here. I want to talk about the larger chart. I can't even speak correctly today. So hopefully you guys enjoy this real time stuff. But yeah, I want to see price stay above this blue line, and I've talked about it several times at 13,959 or 13,960 would probably be a better number. If price gets below that, then something else is playing out that I'm not looking. This is my primary outlook. Obviously, there's always a couple different ways to see things, and the market, I usually keep a couple scenarios in my head, 2, 3 usually, especially with centralized markets. I always keep about 2 to 3 scenarios in my head because I predominantly day trade that. When crypto, I day trade a little bit, mostly it's swing trading and position trading in the crypto market. So that's why I'm not as hardcore, but lately I have been day trading a lot more. And when I say lately, I mean like the last many months. So anyway, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to stay above this. This move looks corrective. It looks okay. Now I want to go down to the hourly chart and talk about a few things. All right, let's jump down to the hourly chart and zoom out on it. Pull it up. I don't know why the charts are a little bit slow for me today. So this is kind of where I'm at right here. So I had a WXY here. I talked about this in the last video. It's a corrective structure in Elliott wave. WXY. ABC also is a corrective structure. It's basically the same thing with a couple nuances, whereas Y would be an ABC rather than a 5-wave impulsive structure. So then I have an ABC down, and let's zoom in on that move because I was looking at that move and I talked about it. I put it in my Discord, and we did have a nice move down followed by another nice move down. So when this moved down, I talked about seeing it stay below some levels, and it did. It came down again, and it stayed below some levels and just came down again. And now you're seeing it really start to go sideways. Let me pull this up and make it a little larger. And now we want to see what we can actually see. So price did come down a little bit further than what I would expect. However, it's holding above this low. It is pretty ugly, and but it is something that can get some more movement to it. So I want to keep an eye on this and see what it can do. Right around that 20,090 level can be resistance. So if price is going to push up from here, I want to see it really get over 21,200 and start, kind of doing something. That's not going to be the start of a move to new highs, but I think it can be the start of a move back up here. So it's possible that that can happen. So this is, this move here, that's this resistance. This was a perfect short, actually. You got this nice move down, and now I'm really starting to look for some support. So in the last video, price was up here, and I was talking about looking for a pullback on everything: Ethereum, Cardano, Bitcoin, whatever else I talked about. And that's what I'm looking for, is that move down. That's exactly what happened. It came down a little bit more, which is okay, and it's trying to support right in this region, which is totally fine. And that's something that looks good. Anywhere from that 19,100, 19,300, that looks really good. It is possible that it could sell off again. And when it does get up, keep an eye on that 20,900 figure, because if it rejects that, it can go down a little more. But I'm looking for the potential of price coming up here, like towards that 28,000, 30,000, and then getting some rejection and being able to run a little bit lower from there. Just like in our total market cap, we're looking for price to go up. That's what I'm looking for as well in these charts. So if you're interested on a more detailed view, I have that in the Discord. We are putting a NFT project together based on that. It's going to be like an alpha group. Plus, you're going to have a lot more utilities, and we're also planning, a lot more that I'm just not going to talk about right now. But if you're interested, check it out. Description below. Next, let's go to Ethereum. So Ethereum, I don't know what. Right when I start this video, the charts just start acting up. Doesn't really look good for me. All right. With Ethereum, I want to talk about the short term, and then I'll start talking about the longer term. So with Ethereum, same with Bitcoin, we have the W, X, and a Y. There's no way to get an impulsive structure out of this. I mean, you could make it up, but in reality, there's really no way to do it. So we got a WXY up, and now we have an ABC down. Both of those are corrective structures, yes. Let me zoom in here. And Ethereum, it looks like it does want to go higher, just like what I'm thinking with Bitcoin, thinking it's going to go higher. However, I want to see how that higher is going to look. So right now, if it's going to get strong and come up here above 2,200, 2,400, something like that, maybe 2,600, it's going to have to start pushing up and getting over 1750, 1780 without a meaningful pullback. So that's what it would have to do from here. It doesn't quite look like that's happening at the moment. So it can come down again, find support, and then start to do that. That would be perfectly okay. But you really just have to wait on it and see what is actually going to happen. So now let's go to the daily chart. Jump down here. Okay, and this is the daily chart. You had a nice move up here, and you had a so far a move down. It did hold above that 848 figure, not by a ton, but by a little bit. It held above that, which is totally okay. You got a corrective move up, followed by a corrective move down. So now I'm looking for another move up to find resistance, which would coincide with the overall crypto market cap. And then from there, we can see another sell off, which would take us back down, and that would be, totally okay. And I think that's most likely what's playing out. So that's kind of my view on that. So now let's go to Cardano, channel favorite, and let's zoom out on this. If the charts would cooperate. And there's a lot of stuff on this chart. Like I always show, I'm looking at this as a completed move, which means this move down has yet to complete. So with that, we know what I'm looking for. Let's jump down to the hourly chart so we can get a little more clarification and we can actually see stuff because I have lines drawn everywhere. So let me zoom out on this. It's pull this up a little bit if it would work. Okay. All right, here we go. And basically, off of that low, we have a WX and a Y, similar to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Basically, the same thing. Ethereum was a little stronger, obviously. Bitcoin was kind of in the middle, and Cardano was the weakest. So, out of those three, it is what it is. Cardano came up and hit the resistance and then started selling off. Whereas Bitcoin, I had a higher resistance. It didn't quite get to it, but it was well within those parameters and it had a nice sell. Cardano as well came up, hit it, and then just rejected off and had a nice sell off. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on the most recent action. Let's try to make this a little bit bigger here. It doesn't seem to want to pop out. All right. Maybe that's what it needed. All right, here we go. So basically, let me zoom in a little bit more here. And it doesn't matter the color. So I had a corrective structure up, corrective structure down, and I was looking for this to actually go into a long. It did come down a little bit further than I was comfortable with. I wanted to stay above this low right here. Came down a little bit further, but now it's starting to take off to the upside, and it came right into my target, which I talked about in my Discord around that 45-cent mark. It went slightly above 46 cents, slightly above 46 cents, but very slightly. And now, you're seeing that sell off and now that move up. So basically, it's acting like Ethereum now. If you just take this and this that last Ethereum move. So now, if this thing is going to do anything, then it needs to actually start taking out some levels, and it would probably come a little bit above maybe 50, 53 cents, something like that. That's where I could see this go to. And if it goes past that, it would be quite interesting. I would expect it to do so in a choppier fashion, but if it did that, it would actually be quite interesting because technically from this to this high right here, this move can be completed. I put a question mark here because I'm not quite sure if that is the completion. It could be from this pattern here, but it could be an extended pattern playing out. And that's why I have that question mark there for this C wave. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse, which means it's either going to support and start pushing higher, or this is the end of that C wave and this thing can go lower. But as it supported here, I'm thinking it can have an extended move up, which coincides with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's what I'm thinking. Usually your Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be more heavily correlated. Cardano a little less so, and then all of the other altcoins less so, depending on how like ApeCoin and Bitcoin are going to be, loosely correlation. BNB is going to be a little more. XRP is going to be less correlated. Stuff like that. So it just depends on what they are. So that's what I'm thinking about with Cardano. Now I want to go to Matic. I haven't actually looked at Matic since the last time I looked at it. Yeah, bad jokes. All right, so let me zoom in on this. Let's see here. All right. So this is all just sideways mess. There's not a lot really playing out right now for Matic. It's something that I wouldn't really want to be a part of at all. This move up here, a little bit ugly. This move up here looks better, but it's going to be choppy and erratic right now. Let me go to a daily chart on this and see what I can see. Let's see. All right. So I was counting this as a three wave move up, right? Which is a corrective move, but the move of the corrective move isn't quite done yet. So this I count as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse, which can make this an ABC, which is a completed corrective structure. And now this move off of it, I'm looking at as an A down, a B up, and a C down, which means there's going to be more downside, I think. So this can come up, come down again. Maybe this actually does support and it can start moving up from here. But the way it's moving right now is super, super ugly. I would rather see it make a low below the lowest low in this movement right here. So below that 75 cent level, somewhere below there, I'd like to see a new low. And then, we can see maybe this move up a little bit more. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with Matic. We'll have to wait and see. Right now, your resistance is going to be up here. So I would prefer to see it move up and then back down. However, if it stayed below this blue line here and moved down to make a new low and then started moving up, I'd be totally okay with that. So right now with Matic, I just kind of want to watch it, see what it's going to do, and then maybe I can come up with something after that. But right now, I don't really see a trade on it, so I'm going to wait, see what happens. Let's go to Solana next. These charts are really, really slow. All right, now we're on Solana, and okay, this is where we're at. So this was the big move to 260, and then you just had I'm not going to call it a free fall because it was kind of a choppy fall, but it was quite a big fall from 260 down into the upper 20s. And I was talking a lot about it needs to hold over 22, hold over 22, maybe 24, hold over that zone, but especially 22. It was super, super important that it did. And it did that. It did that. And it's doing so in a sideways pattern. And it looks to me like I could count this in a W up, an X down, or X over here, whatever. So WX and then a Y. And it's super ugly, but that's the way I would count it. Now this move down, it does look kind of strong here, especially on a daily chart. It looks pretty strong. But if it's going to coincide with the rest of the crypto market, which it could decouple, that would be totally okay. But if it doesn't decouple, it should stay with the overall crypto trend, which means it can find some support and start to push up here. However, I wouldn't be doing justice if I didn't zoom in on this, just because it's usually you can't tell what it's saying in a daily chart. You kind of have to zoom in a little bit. Let's do that. Come on, charts. All right, almost there. And this is the start of that move over here. So we have this is sideways. So let me zoom this back out and check this out. So this move down, it looks pretty good, and it does look similar to Cardano actually, because now you have this move up. It did come down a lot, but it held this low, and now it's starting to press up, which this pattern in itself looks just like the Ethereum pattern. So or similar to it. So right now, if this does start to push up, keep an eye on 35.36 for the first resistance zone. And if it is able to actually pop up above that, then we'll see what it can do. And then you have more resistance up here. So I think looking at it overall, it would be nice if it just found that support and pushed back up here. That would kind of coincide with everything else. So that 51 to 56 area, that would coincide with everything else. But that would probably be the last straw, and then it would, maybe roll back over. Maybe there's an extended correction. So we'd have to wait and see on that. So right now, this pattern kind of tells it all. If it gets back below this low, then we might break this low over here. So it's going to be interesting. So that's Solana. And now let's go to Binance Coin. So Binance Coin. And if you guys have any other coins you would like me to talk about, you can put them in the comment section below and I can check out those. I don't want to do too many tokens here as far as weekly segment. But if I, having a good core, maybe we can get it up to 10. I don't want to go over that number, but if enough people ask about something, then I'll do it, because that's what the whole point of doing a YouTube channel was for. That's the whole reason I have a Discord now, is try to be helpful, try to be a good human in the community of crypto. So this one, I'm looking at 39.70. Price needs to stay above that level, which it is. It's definitely staying above. And in the pullback, Binance looks the strongest out of all of the weak ones that I covered here. So right now, it's definitely holding up fairly well. So now let's go to the hourly chart and see what we can see. So on the hourly chart here, zoom out. Okay, and pull this over here. Okay, that's all the data the chart's going to give me for some reason. That's weird. All right, so basically this was that low in June. It came up, came down, and this move up actually looks pretty decent. And now it's kind of continuing to move up, but it's doing so in more of a choppy fashion. So this is a WXY in my opinion. Now it's coming down. It's coming down in a corrective manner. So just like everything else, I think this is probably going to find that support. And let me zoom in here just on that last leg. All right, here we go. This is the last leg, and that it looks ugly. No other way to say it. It looks ugly. So when it pops up, watch that 300 level, 302, something like that, for possible resistance. It might not even get there, but if it can find that resistance, it can come down a little more and then probably find support somewhere above 245. So 245, 255, something like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now with Binance. But Binance can kind of go a few different ways. Right now, it's a little bit choppy. So I'm not trying to trade Binance right now. I'm just kind of watching it. So that's where I'm at with that. And then next, let's talk about XRP and see where it is. So let me zoom out on this other way. All right. These charts are great. All right. So here's Binance Coin. I mean, XRP is what I meant to say there. So XRP, I've talked about several times. This is a huge corrective structure since like 2018. So, I'm seeing definitely sideways in this. So this is a WXY here. This is like a ugly move down, like a ABC, AB, ugly C. But yeah, just ugliness. This low right here, keep an eye on it at 32. I'm just going to call it 32 and a half cents. I'm not going to look at the actual number. 32 and a half cents. It got back above here and it got back above here. Why is that interesting? Because it could be a intermediate low. So if this is an intermediate low here, then we could see this come up. Resistance is going to start around 35 cents. If it does come up, keep an eye on 36 and a half cents. If it gets over 36 and a half and it's strong, it should be able to take out 37. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. There's not like a lot to look at with XRP. However, if you did get long with your stop at 32 cents, so long here, stop at 32 cents, you're probably, looking for a ride up here. It's not the greatest risk reward, but it's something. But yeah, XRP is really my favorite to trade anyway. But a lot of people do like it and they want to see it covered. But right now it's looking kind of decent. Even if it comes back down and it holds over that 32-cent mark. So if it came down a little, holds over that 32-cent mark, that could turn into a decent trade. Up 34, 35 maybe. And then if it does break above 35, 36 half, then it can go a little bit higher. I'm a trader. So 36 half, 36 and a half cents. But, that's usually I just throw numbers out there. So it's faster than saying them because, if you've ever day traded, markets can move pretty fast. So I kind of got in the habit of doing that. But anyway, that's my analysis. So hopefully you did enjoy it. If you want like closer analysis every day, I am doing a Discord. I'm going to have that link in the description. And I am doing an NFT project on that. So if you want to get in Discord, ask questions and, tell some friends, I'd appreciate it. But anyway, with that, if you enjoyed the video, throw a like on it. I appreciate it. If not, throw a dislike, that's fine. I appreciate the feedback. So I respect your opinion. So thank you for doing one of those two. With that, have a great rest of your night. I'll see you around the crypto markets. Take care.